we're about ready to go. I'm 10 minutes later than I wanted to, but hopefully we can still catch the bus. Can you hear the struggle? Cause man, was I struggling. Later you'll see all I was dealing with. And then I saw this dude on the road and I was like, damn, that's smart. I learned my lesson from yesterday that I had an assigned seat, so I asked a lady to like help me, and she thought I was trying to sit next to her, and I was like, no. Oh, hi.
没事没事。我来给你看，我给你看。13
谢谢。Okay, so I was just yelled at to put my seatbelt on, but the bus leaves at 9:20. We got here at like 9:10. On the bus at 9:15. Got a window seat in the very back, so that's actually pretty nice. Oh, I realized I forgot my charger for my earbuds in the hotel, but out of all the things to forget, just a little charger for some earbuds is okay. And I have an extra one. And I swear the bus to Suzhou the other day left like 5 or 10 minutes early, so I was very glad that this one left right on time or even a few minutes later than scheduled. Also, this is a lot of fun, and I'm like traveling and shit, this is how it be, but I'm very excited to get back to Korea where I can actually understand the language and communicate because I can say like full sentences in Korean, and here all I know is shishia, dupachia, bohaiza, waishama. That's about it. It was so cool to be in a big city, but oh my goodness, so much walking and lugging my stuff around. Ugh. Mind you, when I left, my luggage was 70 pounds and I had the little suitcase and the big suitcase, but I bought so much stuff that I had to separate them. But shit was starting to look cool, and I did have to do like, you know, a transfer of stations or whatever, but I think it's fine. Now time for the reveal. This was my setup. This is all that I was lugging around all day. Now I'm only here for one night, but I decided to play it safe and book a room at the DoubleTree. If you are planning on staying at this DoubleTree location, please, dear God, get a taxi. It was so bumpy, sunny, and hot. I tried to put my sunglasses on at one point, but the sidewalk was so rough that they straight up just fell off. Especially with me being so scrawny and having all this luggage, it was a mess. Now, I had been lugging around my stuff all day. That's fine, that's great, whatever. But there's a major difference between lugging around your stuff on the smooth floors in the subway station and occasionally having to go up some stairs in the rough sidewalk. It was so rough for 15 minutes straight. Maybe longer because of all the stuff that I had and how long I took. 谢谢。谢谢。 Hello. But oh my goodness, this girl was so pretty. Thank you. While it was nice, it was a little obviously old and dated. Reminded me of my grandma. I thought this was cool though. It was the hotel for the World Expo in 2010. Oh, I think I need to scan this. Crazy shit. This is how we've been walking around all day. Like this. Oh, hair is a mess. We got an early check-in though. So yay. In an upgraded room apparently. So we shall see. And it's on 436. That's very promising. 3603. Oh, the carpet's a bitch. We're shuffling along. Here we are. Nice. Nice. Okay, we're in the room. We got a nice little loading station and mirror right up front. What's this? This is the bathroom, it seems. Oh, this is the toilet at least. Oh shit. Oh shit, we have a little living room. Oh my gosh. Oh no, this is the bedroom. Wait. Whoa. Okay, okay. Another toilet with a bidet. Okay, the nice ass shower. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's crazy. What's in here? Just a straight up living room? It is. It's straight up a living room. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna need that. There's a mini fridge. Yay. Okay, okay. Pop off. Goddamn. Let's see the view. This is great. Oh my goodness. Look, you can see the bund. You can see it. Can you see it? I can see it. Ah, there it is. My sincerest apologies for all these shots, but I just could not get over the skyline. Oh. I know I'm super dark, but the point is the skyline, so focus on that. It has been such a long day, and it's not even 1 o'clock, so I'm gonna fix my hair, get some ice, and then head out and maybe see something. And I opened this closet, and there's an umbrella, super nice to have, a laundry service with like prices and shit. These are robes, so you know that they're like clean, and an ironing board, which I very much need. Also a shoehorn and like some fire escape shit, but oh. Look, you can see exactly that street. I walked all the way down the entire block. It doesn't look that far, but it really felt quite far. I am just absolutely obsessed with this view. I wish I was here for more than just one night. This is ridiculous. It seems like every time I book a hotel for only one night, I get the absolute best view. Little hotel shop before going to the People's Park.
The destination of this train is National Exhibition and Convention.
It looks like the 7 lucky gods. You know? It really does. I really think that's what it is. I think this might be it, but I honestly have no fucking idea. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's a bunch of rocks. But they look like pretty cool rocks. I don't know, man. There's no one else here. That's how I'm trying to be, for real, for real. God damn, look at how peaceful. Look at how serene. Oh, to be a cat in Shanghai. I didn't find the marriage markets that I was coming here to see. However, it is a very large empty park with like a carousel, whole ass amusement park. It's like a permanent fair here as well. That's crazy. And shut your bitch ass up. I just came here because we talked about it in my class a bit and I wanted to see. Finding the famed marriage markets was not a walk in the park, but I got a walk in the park out of it. Now we go into a temple. I'm not gonna try to say the name, but this is it. The reflection is a bitch, but... I get that this may be normal for some people, but I'm from the suburbs of Florida, so this was very impressive to me. Holy shit. And the temple was right on top of the subway station. Like, it was built on top of it or something. It was so cool. It was kind of difficult. I had to figure out how to pay and stuff, but having Alipay really helped. I used Alipay literally so much. According to Wikipedia, it was originally built in the year 247 during the Chinese Three Kingdoms era. I'm pretty sure if you threw a coin into that thing, then your wish was granted, but I wasn't able to get it in. That's what he said. Can you even see how cool that looks? I don't think you can. But of course, I didn't do as much research as I wanted to, and I just walked around in awe of the architecture and the design and the motifs and the wood carving. Everything was just fascinating to look at. It was, ugh. Now, it was originally apparently built in Suzhou, which is where I was literally yesterday, and it was only moved here in 1219 during the Song Dynasty, but 1219, that's still quite old. And it was rebuilt during the Qing, and then, you know, Cultural Revolution, and apparently it was then turned into a plastic factory, and it wasn't until 1983 that it was, you know, put back to its original purpose. But this reminds me so much of the architecture that I saw in Korea from Shilla, and in Japan that they like borrowed from, you know, the Three Dynasties era in Korea. It's all connected, all the cultures share different things, but oh my god, just, it was so grand. All of the wood looked so heavy, and it was so many layers, and oh. Once again, I'm not a Hundi, but I'm pretty sure that this depicted the story of the Buddha in the different registers or whatever. And I'm pretty sure it was wood, like carved wood. Anyways, the architecture made me just gag. Oh my god, I really was like, if I could do math, I would be an architecture student. It was just fascinating, and the wood carvings were so intricate, and the contrast between the wood and the gold and the buildings, the modern buildings behind, like, you know, the traditional looking style temple, oh, and the marble floors, crazy. I did end up sparing a few coins. There I am, and trying to throw them in there, but I was embarrassed, and every time I threw it, these annoying kids would go and they'd steal my coin from the ground before I could even get a chance to retrieve it. I did end up finding like the perfect spot to take a photo though, and luckily there were a group of 3 girls, incredibly pretty. 2 of them looked foreign, and I asked one to take my photo, and apparently the girl I asked was a professional photographer, and I think the other 2 were like models. So that was like the best photo ever. I so lucked out. And now I was on my way to the main icon of Shanghai, the Bund, the Pearl Orient Tower, and I ended up finding myself in this major shopping center area, which I didn't necessarily like look for. I wasn't gonna go there, but since I was there, it was really cool. And the view of the Pearl Orient Tower from here, oh my god, that was so cool to see it for the first time. Also, that kind of looked like the Batman building in Nashville. Anyways, I got to go into Huawei. I was so excited. They had cars in there. It was packed. There were so many people. And I really was wanting to buy one of these computers. Honestly, I thought they were really cool. I saw them online a while ago. But while I was there, I looked it up on Reddit and was advised against it. So I was like, I don't need it. The earbuds, though, I really wanted to actually try on, and they were not loud enough for me personally, so I didn't end up getting them. But I was really happy that I was actually able to go and try them on in person rather than buying them online and returning them or something. But oh my goodness, so many people everywhere, always. It was wild, and I really wanted a photo here. The cool silver dragon. I didn't get a great photo, but I ended up putting my bag down and awkwardly waiting, and eventually I saw a little girl staring at me, and I was like, I went up to the mom or whatever, I was like, can you take a photo for me? And they were like, can we get a photo with you? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so I got a photo with her in front of the dragon, then I got a photo just me in front of the dragon. It didn't turn out great. I was very embarrassed, but I still got it. It was okay. And here it is, the Bund, the Pearl Orient Tower. I came at the perfect time, I think. It was like right when the sun was going down. And at first I went, you can only cross the street one way. So at first I went the wrong way, and like an officer dude was like, no, you have to go over there. I was like, oh, okay. Because there are so many people crossing it that it's like they have to direct traffic. And I totally thought this was Mao Zedong, but apparently it was some military political dude who was like the mayor of Shanghai. In the past 5 minutes, I've taken photos with 2 kids. Both of them are staring at me. The first one, I wanted a photo of me, and they were staring, and I was like, can you take my photo? And then she was like, can I get a photo with you? And I was like, yeah. And then this other little girl just walking literally right now, she stopped and she pointed. She was like, Mom, look. And then we're like, can we get a photo? I was like, yeah, you can take one with my phone too. And I gave her my phone because like, yeah, if someone's gonna ask for a photo with me, I want that photo. Anyways, This is what we're doing now.
This was in fact not what I ended up doing then.
If it'll load the sightseeing tunnel. There it is. There's the sign. I'm just fucking stupid and didn't look.
I had actually saved on Rednote or Xiaohongshu some photo spots to take with the Pearl Orient Tower, and the sun was going down, so before I lost all the light, I decided I needed to hit up these spots.
I really don't think it would be too much of an over-exaggeration. Well, I guess there are a bunch of other Westerners here. I feel like literally everyone is looking at me as I walk by. Oof, hair's looking rough. I just made eye contact with another child who then ran to her mom. He's like, oh, look, a foreigner. She didn't ask for a photo though, so. Wow, so that was kind of easier than I thought. I was just standing, waiting to find an open spot to ask someone to take my photo, and a little girl walked up to me and she was like, hello, can I take a photo with you? And I was like, yeah, and so I got another one, 3 in like 10 minutes. I got a photo with her in front of the bund, and I got a photo alone in front of the bund, so that's good.
But then I had like a 20-minute walk and I was losing sun, and there was this really good bridge spot to take photos, and I saw 2 girls taking photos for each other and they looked pretty, like they were on Rednote, and I was like, can you get a photo for me? So they got a few good ones.
The wind is killing me. We are now speed walking. I don't know if you can tell how dark it is, but it's getting pretty dark, and I have this one specific spot that I had saved that I want to go to try to get a photo, and it looks promising so far because there are no people, but I hope that I'm even navigating to the right spot. I don't know what I'm doing.
The vibes were so on point though. I would be so okay with coming back for longer or like working here or something.
Okay, so my maps was kind of being a bitch, and it told me I was going the wrong way, and I was not, so I just wasted a solid few minutes of light that is very precious at this time. But we're gonna try. We're here.
So this is what the photo was supposed to look like. You get really low, it's a great photo. And it looked like these girls were getting it, and I asked, and they seemed reluctant. They were like the first ones that I asked to get a photo of me, and they were like, okay. But she put me in a bunch of different spots. She was like, pose here, pose there. They were all awful. That girl in the white dress, I saw her mom taking photos of her, the exact photo that I wanted, and I asked her after I checked these photos because I realized they were unusable. And even that other girl, it's like they purposefully didn't get a good photo. I don't know what it was. I saw on their phones that they got the perfect shot. They got it, but when it came to my phone, it was just literally unusable. I had to delete them. It was really disappointing, but whatever. I'm glad that I stopped on the bridge on the way and asked those girls to get my photo, because that was probably the best one that I got with the Pearl Orient Tower in the back, and I really wanted a photo with it in the background. But anyways, it was really just fun to look at the city, look at the skyline. This is so beyond New York. You do not get this anywhere in America. It was crazy how just obviously so advanced they were. Oh my gosh.
Okay. I walked all the way over here. So we're gonna see if there's food, but I also kind of want to go to this Korean place. It's so crazy though. This is exactly what I thought China would be, like these huge streets, you know, these big common areas. And it be like that. It really do be.
I didn't end up finding any food over there that I wanted, but I found this Korean ethnic minority restaurant online, and I thought maybe that'd be cool and different.
If I was a little kid or not wearing a dress right now, I would so totally want to do that little rope course. That's so cool. There's so much to do. You can eat, you can see stuff, you can get photos, you can have fun. There's so many people out too. Never would this happen in the US. Genuinely, it really does not compare to New York. It's as though Okay, this is what it would be like if New York actually like progressed. If New York didn't like stagnate and stop in like the city. You know, like New York is cool, it's fine and all, but this is truly first world type shit. Okay, so it seems like the Korean place is open till like 10, and it also looks like it's quite close to the sightseeing tunnel, to like the other side of it. So we're walking another like 20-30 minutes, and we're gonna hope that the sightseeing tunnel is still open.
I know I am young, but being stuck in the suburbs of Florida for 22 years doesn't bring that same exciting young feeling that this did, being in such a big city with all the buildings and the lights.
So I'm really upset. I got to the spot where I wanted the photo, and I asked 2 separate people to take my photo because I thought it would be good. And the second girl, I saw her phone when she was taking the photos. They were perfect. And mine, awful. Awful. The quality is bad. It's super blurry. It's like 5 times zoomed in. I don't even know, bro. I don't know. Anyways, I got nothing to work with, so I think we're gonna maybe try to come back in the morning.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is the actual quote-unquote Bund. It was cool. There were so many people taking like wedding photos and stuff. When these buildings were built, I'm pretty sure it was like World War II concessions, or I don't know, it was something to do with that, and they were like the tallest buildings at the time, but I really don't like that era of history, so we're gonna skip over that. Of course, though, a girl's gotta have her ice, so I went to get some of that so I could have some cold water before heading over to the restaurant. And of course, my mode of transportation was the sightseeing tunnel. I thought this was kind of cool.
Ni hao. Hello. Ah.
We are family.
Ah, yeah. Big family.
2 girls says you are very beautiful.
谢谢，谢谢。
出发了！
前面这几间的是美女，
和前面的姐姐呢？
真的有美女。他们带的专业的设备。
This is sped up times 3, but it's still like a minute 20 or whatever, so skip forward a minute if you don't care for this, because honestly, I don't know, like it was cool, it was okay. There were definitely certain sections that I thought looked cooler than the others, but I don't know what I was expecting. I kind of thought it would be like a really long aquarium tunnel where you could see all the fish. That's stupid, that's silly, I know. Or maybe like it would, you know, tell a little of the history of Shanghai or something. I don't know. Anyways, it was very much a cute little touristy thing. Would I spend the money to go again? Probably not. Did it get me from one side of the river to the other? For sure, for sure. And it did boost my ego quite a bit. Not that I needed that anymore, but the girls calling me pretty just like over and over, and she was like, "It's really a pretty woman," or whatever, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, stop." Oh my gosh, I loved it. They were very nice, very chill, a very lovely family. And there's the family in front of me. Even after exiting, I was walking behind them, but it was okay because literally from start to finish, the girls kept just turning around and looking at me and smiling. Like, I felt like such a celebrity. It was wild. And this tower, oh my god, the Pearl Orient, it was so cool to see, especially lit up at night. Some people think it's ugly as shit, but I think of it as just like an icon of Shanghai. And the restaurant I was going to was like in a huge mall, so I had to make my way there, and it was really hard to find. Like, I found the mall, but I couldn't find the entrance. Like, the entrance was hidden. I don't even know. Anyways, I think I walked around the entire mall before I finally found an entrance.
Just as I was thinking, why the fuck would anyone come to Disney when they're Shanghai? That tunnel, though, it really did feel like a Disney ride. And this specific spot, like the circle thing, you know, I saw on the virtual tours that I had to do for my Chinese Culture and Society class. So I was like, okay, real life, this is so cool. And this is a part of the weird sidewalk alleyways I had to go to find the entrance, and I think I went through a really weird side entrance. There weren't many stores on the bottom floors, and I expected the restaurant to just be there, so I was like, where do I go? But I found an elevator, and I was like, okay, it looks like this is where everything is, and a Christmas tree, like, the fuck? But I went to Sephora because I needed a makeup brush for powder and sunscreen, but look at this. Huge. I don't think I've ever been in a mall this big. There were 8 floors. That says 6th floor, 7th floor, 8th floor. We're going to the 8th floor. And I actually did stop and show my phone to some security guard guy being like, hi, where is this? Because I could not find the restaurant. I had 8 floors. I didn't know where to go. That's crazy. That's wild. Anyways, I ended up finding it. He told me it was on the 8th floor, and I was like, no way. So that was cool that I got to like go all the way up there, because I don't know if I would have spent the time to go all the way up there. This I don't even need to say anything on, you can see. Okay, we did it. They have the bookie, so I'm very excited. And the girl also looked very excited that I was actually coming in. It looks like she's never seen a board or something. And look, a little disposable apron, very fun, very cute. Okay, this is what we got. The dip cannot be taken away, but we're getting the bookie. It looks like ramen and some soju. They did not have strawberry, and I don't like original unless it's chonchorom, but whatever. I spoke in Korean to her and she didn't understand that either. So yeah, the dude completely didn't know any English. She had to like go get some other girl. And I swear most of the workers most of the time were like ignoring me because they couldn't speak English, I think, so they were nervous. I know, I shouldn't be so nitpicky, but it says, what is your favorite food? Is it pork or beef or Korean cuisine, as if those are all mutually exclusive? I'm just so distracted by the way that this little ball of ice be spinning. Oh my gosh. I haven't even had anything to drink yet. I haven't even had anything to eat yet. Maybe that's the issue. First up. Second up. My mouth is already tingling, it's so spicy. Oh my god, I need to pop my ears, it's so spicy. I'm blowing my nose like crazy. This is the damage so far. I haven't drank any of this, but I poured some of it. This is empty. And those are all the tissues that I've used. It tastes sweet. Not bad. Not what I expected for the soju. That little lime is so cute, but genuinely, it must have been the size of a grape when they cut it. That is not doing shit to enhance the flavor. It's so cold. Which means we need to drink. Ajushi. The water chaser. I would just like to know who the fuck that is. Who is he? Who is he? He's everywhere. Well, in that one specific restaurant at least, I mean. Oh, I definitely left my ice, but that's okay. It was almost empty anyways. What is this? Oh my gosh. How nice, how cool. Okay, we're on the 8th floor of the mall right now. Literally the very top of the mall, and apparently it has 8 fucking floors. It was so cold in there. I'm still shivering. It's a bit warmer out here. The goal is to find a 7-Eleven and get ice, and then I can put my soju in there and I can drink it while I'm on the way back or while I'm just out and about. I don't know. Drinking in public isn't like necessarily the best look anywhere. Doesn't really matter on where you are, you know. This Italian dude totally just clocked me walking down. I was going down the escalators and I was looking up, can you drink in public in Shanghai or whatever? And I noticed that there was someone behind me, so I wanted to let him go in front of me in case he was like in a hurry. And I was like, oh, go ahead. And he was like, oh, no, you. And I saw he was like a Westerner, and I was like, oh. And he was like, and I just noted, I was like, oh. And then he was like, oh, and you can drink in Shanghai, by the way. And I was like, stop, you're embarrassing me. Like, he saw what I was searching and he was reading it. Oh my gosh, look at the view. Real quick, we have to acknowledge that this is what I'm walking towards. And so I was like, where are you from? Italy. He was from Italy. And I just was like, damn, he really read that. He really saw that. I thought I was safe typing anything, anytime, but apparently not in Shanghai. But anyways. But like, bro was definitely peeping at my phone behind me on the escalator. Definitely not minding his own business. I guess I exposed myself a little too much talking earlier, because this time it wasn't a child. It was like two 30, 40-year-old women maybe, I don't know. They were grown women, an English teacher. Her English was the best English I've heard from a Chinese person yet. And they're like, can we take a photo with you? We got photos with my phone. We got photos with her phone. Her friend, she was like, okay, my turn. And she got photos with me. And they said it was because they heard me speaking English. And I'm like, oh my gosh, was it when I was talking to the camera? And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, ah! The one time I do it. Anyways, let's acknowledge the view. But honestly, yeah, I've seen like quite a few other foreigners or like Westerners, but all of them have been like European tourists or something. I haven't run into another American or like a British person or an Australian or anything like that. So to hear like English, that was probably like, oh. Anyways, I was like, do you see a lot of foreigners? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, I'm just pretty. And I was like, no. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, no. And even though it was already almost like 10 or something, so I knew there was a chance that it wouldn't be open, there was a really cool street that I'd seen online that had traditional architecture and a bunch of lights. And I was like, that's so cool. Of course, at night is when the lights come on. I should be able to see them. Ew, why did it start to look so cool all of a sudden? Yo, the whole place is like this? That's so fucking cool. Oh my god. And this was so you could kind of get a sense of how many people were staring at me, especially in a situation like this where everyone was just going by me. It was almost everyone. Those are cute, the little money wallets. Hey! And there's my man Hotai, the Budai, whatever. Anyways. It does seem like all of the lights are off at this point, unfortunately. Yep, damn, I was late by just a little bit too much. But whatever, the architecture's still there. I just wish the lights were on. Damn, this would be so cool if all the lights were on. I'm not gonna be here till tomorrow night, unfortunately. Alright, in another tourist shop we got some gold American dollar bills. And I really quickly have to mention how while I was looking in the store after this, the lights turned off on me. Like they didn't know I was there. No one greeted me when I walked in the store, but the store was open, but they straight up just turned off the lights. And I was like, frozen, like, what do I do? And I was like, ni hao, oh my god. And then finally the dude turned on the light and I was like, sorry, is it like not open? And he let me finish shopping. And then he tried to get me to spend more money and buy more things in order to not give me change. And I was like, no, I only want this, please give me change. And he did. And then I left and he closed the store. But it was like, god damn, the lights were on, the door was open. Let's try to read this without having a stroke. Earth in its true feelings, all the hand some boy, love, husband offer. Beat of the person awarded. Oh, there's a bug on me. Fund for dating. Okay, that one makes sense. Half to harp. Reward for most virtuous wife. Oh my gosh. Young, talented, bad things are done. Award from wife. When the shopkeeper, when I was at. Moonlight calm. Oh my gosh, we have to get something. Decent woman. I'm super rich. Higher commander used. Oh my gosh, what does this say? What is that? Unfortunately, We have ended up in a sketchy, dark alley, the exact type that my mother specifically told me not to go through. But I don't want to walk all the way back, so I think we're gonna go through here because it looks like there's civilization and like lights and stores. That's a bit safer because this doesn't look very I'm definitely not in a touristy part anymore.
And I also didn't end up walking to a touristy part. This actually felt a little more unsafe than just the alleyway that I was in before. So I was gonna leave, and then I looked at my directions, and it wanted me to keep going or whatever. So I ended up just calling a taxi. I was like, this is silly. I need to just get out of here. But to be extremely fair, this did feel like real Shanghai, where the people actually lived and hung out, and I wasn't, like, scared for my safety or anything. I wasn't, like, that freaked out. I was just like, I shouldn't be here. So yeah, I went to Redno, and I looked up a cool bar to go to, and I got a taxi.
So it seems that the bar that we're going to is, like, in a hotel, and I'm, like, in an elevator now, and they said it's on floor W. I'm like, what? What does that mean? Anyways, a dude opened the door for me. He opened my car door. He opened the door to the hotel, and I got the elevator button pushed. Let's see. So I really didn't expect this, but look, that's the Pearl Tower. It's not even midnight. Everything closes at like 10 in Shanghai, I guess. I thought things would be open later. I went to this bar called Wet Bar, and I didn't feel like I should record inside because of how fancy it was. It was like a nice hotel bar kind of thing. And there was like no one in there. So I left because like I have my own soju right now that I can drink. I just want to go out to experience kind of like nightlife. You know what I mean? And there was no one there. There was no one there. So we are trying one more bar. I ordered a DD because it looks like the subway hours aren't compatible, like right now or whatever. Oh, anyways, it's still like 5 minutes away.
Spoiler alert, we did not go to a second bar.
Smells like my grandma. Okay, we got a few extra cookies, a couple extra cookies, and ice is being sent to my room. So I'm pissed because I should have thought of this like literally right when I checked in, and now it's too late to do laundry. They have like a laundry service, and yeah, it would be money, but like I have one pair of shorts and one top that I need washed for tomorrow. I brought one pair of shorts and one skirt and 2 dresses, and I've worn all 4 of those things. And if I were to do the laundry thing, I probably wouldn't get it till like 11 or something. Ugh. I'm so mad at myself. Anyways, I'm just gonna have to wear my shorts again tomorrow, even though I already put them in with my dirty laundry. I really hate doing that, but I'm gonna be sweating the whole day anyways. To be fair, like I will be walking around sweating, and then I will be on a train for like 4 hours, and then Beijing at night, and I get to my hotel in Beijing, and maybe I'll get some food. And the hotel in Beijing has a washing machine in it, so it would be silly to spend $20 to wash one pair of shorts and one shirt when I'm gonna sweat so much tomorrow anyways that it's kind of inconsequential how dirty the shorts are right now. I'm not saying that they're super dirty, okay? They're not that dirty. It's not like that. It's just I usually only wear things once and then I wash them, so this is just like a little uncomfortable, and it's something you gotta do when traveling. But I checked in early, and I put a little request when I made the reservation to please leave your favorite Chinese snack. And so I came back to my room, and there was like a thing of fruits here on a thing, and there was like a little cracker and a little thing. I don't know, this is definitely not someone's favorite Chinese snack. I was expecting something like what I bought at the store, like this. When I meant your favorite Chinese snack, I was thinking something cute and silly like that, but like shit. What is this? A lemon, an orange, and an apple? And a leaf? And then a little biscuit and a little thing. They probably were just like, shit, we gotta do something. Let's just put whatever. Anyways, it's cute. It's fun. And I'm glad that I saw it when I came here. Also, I am very glad that I asked if I could get a couple extra cookies instead of asking how much it was to like buy a tin of cookies that they were selling. Because honestly, I make them better. I don't want to toot my own horn. I really don't want to toot my own horn. But the DoubleTree cookies that I make at home with my little tweaks are so much better. Maybe they've changed the recipe, maybe it's just been so long since I've had a genuine DoubleTree cookie. Maybe it's just this one batch or this one hotel or whatever, but
they're drier than they should be, in my opinion. They're still good. They're still a DoubleTree cookie, but it just doesn't have that oomph that I'm used to when I make my DoubleTree cookies. Also, I feel like I should show the damage done because my limit is 1 bottle and it's been 3 hours and this is all that I've had. So just so that there's no confusion that I'm like drunk or anything. But I was on my way to another bar and then I closed my eyes in the taxi for like 5 seconds and I was like, wow, I am so tired. And I went in the app, I said edit destination, I put in the hotel. My phone was at 5% anyways. I shouldn't have been going back out. I say back out. I never really went out in general, like in terms of nightlife stuff. Anyways, I'm kind of disappointed in that I didn't get to see that like lit up street with all the buildings, you know, because they turned their lights off at like 10 or whatever. And I didn't get to go to like a bar, or I wouldn't have gone to a club anyways because I've never been to a club, so I wouldn't really know what to do with that. But I wanted to go to something with like some type of nightlife atmosphere. Anyways, we don't got to do that though. We have a train to catch in the morning. Actually, that's a lie. We have a train to catch in the afternoon. We got shit to do in the morning though. We got stuff to see in Shanghai still, so. Also, I turned off all the lights so you can see what it really looks like. This is the view. See the buildings? There's some that are lit up or whatever, but the Pearl Orient Tower, the specific one that I was excited to see, it turned off at like 10 or at 11 or something like that. So I don't quite get the view that I was expecting at night. Also, some finishing thoughts. While there are a lot of other foreigners here, there aren't a lot of other Americans or like native English speakers, a lot of Europeans, and there's not a lot of young people. You know what I mean? Like, I have not seen another solo female traveler in her 20s type of thing. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of part of the like, whoa, you know, like I look kind of young, I think. Like you can guess that I'm a student. And I haven't seen a lot of other students. So I think that that's partly why I'm getting the attention that I'm getting. We'll see how it is in Beijing though. Also, I did not go to the bathroom since I checked out of my hotel this morning. I think that I'm so dehydrated and I'm sweating so much that I don't even need to, but I'm drinking water and shit. Anyways, that partly influenced my decision to come straight back to the hotel. And I've also found it a lot easier to ask people for photos because if someone is like straight up just staring at you and you make eye contact and then you look away and you look and you make eye contact again, you can say, can you take my photo? You know what I mean? Like they're already staring at you. Like it's already like, you know, I've done that a few times and it's worked. Okay, I don't know if you can see very clearly. I honestly can't either. There's just a lot of lights and a lot of buildings, and I do wish that the Pearl Orient Tower was lit up, but this really is a great view from the bed to go to sleep and to wake up to. Like... And that concludes my trip day 3, China day 3, tomorrow, Beijing.